of who you are or who you want to be. You're right. I'm pissed off also. I'm pissed off because this is the direction it seems like our world is going. And the direction that we are allowing it to go. Because we laugh when people are ugly to other people. We really do. We laugh and play it off until it happens to us. This is very tragic. What has happened in the United States. 50 people were killed in a nightclub having fun. 53 people are fighting for their lives because they were having fun. But I am so thankful to something that Jeremy said earlier. No matter how pissed off I might be, no matter how angry each and every one of you may be or should be, we still have the opportunity to have the decency to move forward and not backwards. As angry as I am, I don't want to go out and pick up a concrete slab and throw it at residents coming out of a straight bar, as was done to some gays. I don't want to go into the straight bar next door or down the street or across the way and set fire to it, as was done to a gay bar in the United States. That's not who we are. That's not who we are. We've gone through enough drama and trauma and hatred to last us a lifetime. Our obligation is to show others, even though you may hate me, I still am going to show you what love is all about. Yes. Even though you talk about me and you want to strip me of all of my God-given rights, I still love you. And if I see you hurting, I'm going to try to help you. When you fall, I'm going to pick you up. When your child is sick, I'm going to come and stand by you. When you're in the hospital dying, I'm going to hold your hand. Amen. I'm going to be there for you. And you. And you. And you. And that's what we will do. In the Portsmouth community and in the community at large. Because we are, what is it? The gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, and queer, faggot, whatever you want to call us community. We are proud and we stand up proudly. That could have been any one of us. I'm I'm looking around the room. Look around, look at your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. Seriously, look at your neighbor. It can still happen. Somebody could walk in that door right now, throw a bomb, destroy all of us. Look at your neighbor. You remember last night when you left here, you got angry at somebody? Before you leave here tonight, you need to go back and say, I'm sorry. You remember what happened last week? Somebody did something and you need to stop and say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had a lover for 20 years. Good jokes, that's a lifetime. The thing that we used to always say is, I know this is your chair. The one thing that we used to always say is, never go to bed mad at each other. Before you close your eyes in sleep, always forgive that person. Ask for forgiveness. My grandmother taught me that a long time ago. Brothers and sisters would get mad at each other. She wouldn't allow you to fight in the house. She'd send you outside. But before you could re-enter her house, you had to kiss and make up. You had to kiss and make up.
Yes.
That's the best thing that could ever happen. Folks, that's what we need to learn how to do also. That's what we need to learn how to do also. Jeremy said that should be our response, to love them in spite of. Not to go out and be angry and try to do something back. The best thing that you could do, is to love. In spite of everything that is done to you. The best thing that you could ever do to someone who is ugly to you is to love them in return. God bless.
Thank you. That was the most powerful sermon I think that I have ever heard. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I'm so honored to be invited to be able to speak tonight, to speak to the truth of what faith can do to support and to get you through the most difficult times. That's what I understand love does. It gets you through the most difficult times. As a straight man, and a man who lives his life in the church, we share something. In South Carolina, in a place of worship, hatred and violence touched the lives of people who were there enjoying community and love. And last night, early this morning, a community who was there to gather, to celebrate, and to love life was equally violated by hatred and anger. It doesn't matter who we are. We are people who love, who share our hopes and our dreams. And together, prayer, support for one another, a response of love in the face of hatred will always overcome it. As a Christian, whenever I see a cross, I see that terrorism and violence cannot overcome the gift of self-sacrificial love. And that's exactly who we are in this world. people who understand that deep truth. As we remember, as we celebrate, I'm so honored that, I don't know, is there 100, 150 people here today? Your commitment to prayer, your commitment to standing up for what is right, is a commitment that mirrors the loss that is in Florida tonight. I honor you and I thank you for being invited to be a part tonight. Would you like me to say another prayer? It's okay.
Rick wanted me to express his love for every one of you. He sent me a message, and I'm going to read that to you guys. Get over here to my phone. And if, while I'm doing this, if you would, if anyone has a lighter, if you could just go ahead and go around and light candles, that would be awesome. Where's all the smokers? Outside. We're here. Probably outside smoking.
Good, how you doing? How beautiful. How you doing? You have grown up. You know, I know you. You have grown up. And you're just a little old princess. What can I say?
Okay, so I got a call this morning about trying to organize this visual tonight. Immediately got on the phone with Rick, and he said that he would open the bar for us so that we could do this. He sent me a letter and wanted me to read it to all of you. He's sorry that he couldn't be here, but he asked that all of you pray for him while he's on the road also, as he does for us. And it's quite lengthy. As a community, I know that we are all sad, scared, and some of us are feeling very alone and afraid right now. All of these feelings are understandable and are completely okay to have. It's what we choose to do with these feelings that will bring change in the world that simply doesn't understand. Our fears and anger are justified. However, while they exist for a reason. That reason is to serve as a reminder that we all have a purpose that can bring change into others' hearts. When we are examples of true love, unconditional love, it's then that they see the light that we so proudly carry. Let this serve as a reminder that we must stick together as a community, as a family, and together we can make a difference in our country. We live in an amazing city. We live in a city that is loving, caring, and accepting of us all. Seldom do we hear of that discrimination in our town. I believe it is because we have been the examples. We have fed the homeless, we have clothed the naked, and we have been ambassadors in our community. Many of us are in leadership roles in our jobs and have set examples that have let people see that we are not bad. Those same examples are even set by our straight allies. They lovingly have welcomed us into their lives and have always been more than happy to defend a negative statement about how we live our lives. Father Mike, from his pulpit, has spoken of that unconditional love and has shown it in every way toward our community. They've opened up their church and welcomed the River Valley Equality Center for their meetings and functions and have stood as support when things have been rough in our community. Several of the bar and restaurant owners here and local business owners in town have also welcomed us with open arms and graciously accepted us without fear or condition. Let this time be a time to mourn the loss of our brothers and sisters, but also let it serve as a reminder that we must stay vigilant in our work. There is still much more to do. I love you all, and I'm sorry I could not be there. You're all in my thoughts and prayers, and are always welcome to call Kincaid's your home away from home. So if we could, to honor the victims in Orlando, a quick moment of silence. I was going to try to read the names of those victims, but of course, as to now, they still have not updated us on all the names. So in closing, I'd like to ask Father Mike to give us a closing prayer, please.
Loving God, you know us each by name. You know each person who you have entered into your love this evening. May your love and your grace be with each of these families. We pray your grace to be with the doctors as they use their skills to save lives who will be a testimony that hatred and violence cannot overcome love. Bless those who protect, who care. Be with each person as they love and support one another. And may your grace, your face shine upon us. Amen.
Amen.
Did you want to say something?
Good afternoon, community. What I wanted to say was that over the last 35 years, Reggie and me both have been through a lot of things here in Fort Smith. We as a community have always stood together and stood by one another. In the last few years, our community has separated and has fallen apart. And it shouldn't have to be something like this that brings us together. We as a community need to continue to build on our own community and help those all in need. Our prayers are with those people that have lost family members and stuff in Orlando. And the thing is please, please, do not let hate fester in your soul, because hate is a very bad place to go. Love is the only way we can heal. That's it.
Anyone else want to speak?
Thank you for the opportunity to say something. I'm a little older than most of you in this room, and I was hoping to have the opportunity to share a little bit of what my generation went through, and to hopefully put some of this into perspective for you. There's a long history in our country of the suffering that our community has gone through. And from Stonewall, it started, and it's gone on and on and on. But I want you to think about the fact that from this, good things happen. From this, awareness occurs. For you, for your generation, this will be a time that you look to, that you will remember as being something tangible. It's real. What happens, the discrimination has not gone away. And I'll be honest with you, in the last several years, I've seen some complacency. Some of you have been fortunate to be raised in a community where you haven't experienced some of these things. In the 80s and the 90s, we lost almost 450,000 to AIDS. And it was through the uprising that occurred within our own community that pushed our government to find treatment to help ourselves. I have been to the Club Push. It is a very happening place, and I think it will become a place, just like Stonewall. It will become somewhat of a place that people will respect, and this will become a memorial or a gathering place, I think, in the future. I think it will become something that the South, that the community will look to as something concrete, somewhat of a memorial to these people. I thought about this when I came this evening, because my partner Milcar mentioned to me that he something about fear, about going out. Well, you know, from the time I ever went out to a club, I had fear, and I learned to live with it. I lived in San Antonio for 15 years. I buried four of my friends. I got accustomed to violence, and it became part of my world. For our generation, it was different. I've been attacked three times going to my car from a club. Very serious, very could have been very serious. I guess I got over that fear. You know, when I came out today, when I come out, I'm very aware, and we should all be very aware of our surroundings. But we also want to be aware that this hate, this discrimination is still alive. That we have to be aware that it has not gone away. And as I said, I've seen some complacency in our community at times because, you know, thank goodness some of the schools, some of these children don't have to go through what we went through. It has changed for the better, but it's still there. And I think what happened today brings it all back to us and says there's an awareness that it is still with us. Their struggle is still going on. The fight is still happening today. And I want to encourage you that along with the fact that you've struggled to overcome and accept yourself, or you're still in that process, that you also have to struggle with the fact that you do live in a world where there is this sort of thing that goes on. And you support one another. We support one another, and you learn to overcome that. That's why I wanted to get up here as one of the older parts in the community, and tell you a little bit about the fact that I've been through this. This is not something new. We went through AIDS, we were fighting that. We were fighting the hostility and the hate. We were fighting it certainly in our families. We were fighting it in the workplace. And it was only in places like this where we find respite with one another. We find acceptance. And somewhat put our hearts to rest. I will just say this in closing. Everything is not lost for the 50 plus people there. Their memories and what happened there will serve a purpose. And we can be part of that by remembering the sacrifice that occurred there and the hate and why it occurred, and be aware. Be aware. Don't forget. We still live. Don't become complacent. It still exists. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. If there's not anyone else, on behalf of myself, Rick Eubanks, and staff at Kincaid's, thank you all for coming out, and thank you for showing your support. Thank you.